Hi everyone, welcome to the very first video in this video series on a full face of makeup. The first video is all about the base of your face. So let's get started. First, I put on the Glorious Primer. The primer is something that you always want to use when you're putting on makeup because it creates a flawless canvas for you to do your art, right? So you want to have a smooth surface, you want to have makeup that lasts all day, and using a good primer will do this for you. I've already put the primer on because you want it to set for about 3 to 5 minutes before you actually apply your makeup. So I did that ahead of time so you didn't have to sit here and listen to my corny jokes for 3 to 5 minutes. Let's talk about the different options that you have for foundation or, just giving you a flawless look. The first is a BB cream. This BB cream is a multitasking hydrating tinted cream. I'll show you on my hand. I love the BB cream for a few different reasons. Sorry, wrong side. It's really, really quick and easy to get out the door. If you're not trying to go for a really done look, you can use the BB cream and then finish it off with a little bit of powder if you like. It's totally up to you. I love the BB cream and the powder mixed together. I feel like they're a really good combo, and especially if I'm trying to get out the door quickly, that's what I use. Next, you have the option of using liquid foundation. All of our products, the Touch products, are mineral products. I'm going to use the liquid foundation today to show you. BB cream is pretty self-explanatory. You just put it on and away you go. And then, of course, powder. You can use just powder if you want to. If you are one of those lucky people that just have flawless skin all the time, then go for it. This is a mineral powder, and it's amazing. Like, I just love the coverage that it gets, and you'll see it because I will use it with the liquid foundation. And then of course we have concealer, and I'll talk about that when we get to it in a moment. So let's get started with the mineral liquid foundation. Now I'm going to use a liquid foundation brush. This is our special brush. It has a well in the middle. If you use a darker color, then go ahead and put your foundation in the middle bit, but I use the second to lightest color, so I'm going to put it around the edges, and I just find that that gives me better coverage. So just dab it on and make sure I get it everywhere. And then I just use the brush and blend it in. Now, a little tip about our brushes. If it's a liquid product brush, it will have synthetic fibers. If it's a powder application brush, it will have natural fibers. And the reason for that is the synthetic fibers won't break down with a liquid product, but the natural fibers will break down with a liquid product. So, okay, easy as that. Just blended it right in and away we go. The Touch liquid foundation has optical diffusers in it, so it's like Photoshop in a bottle, and it just really helps you get that flawless look. Let's talk about concealer really quickly. I have 2 shades of concealer here, and I use one for under eye. That's a shade lighter than my foundation because I really want to highlight that area because that tends to be a darker area for me. And then I have one that's the same tone as my skin, just so that I can cover any imperfections that I might have. I'm not one of those lucky people that just never has any breakouts or anything, so lucky me, I get to use 2 shades. You can get away with 1 shade if you don't have dark circles under your eyes and you're covering up, so just depends for you. So I just put about a grain of rice on my concealer brush size of a grain of rice rather, and I just dab it on under both eyes. Now the trick with concealer, and this is how you get good concealer, is you kind of make like this little triangle underneath your eye, and it just draws that highlighting effect down your face instead of if you just leave it there. Do you see the difference? Like, it doesn't cover as well and doesn't hide those bags or what might you have there at all. Okay, so that was the lighter shade for my under eye. Don't worry, I'm going to blend it in just a moment. And then I'm going to use the same shade just to cover up a couple of little imperfections that I've got going right now. Really tiny amount. Like, this concealer will last you ages. It is super duper. Put that on there. Okay. Now, while I blend this, I'm going to prep you. We're going to talk about this thing called baking. okay? And it's like this new thing where, notice I use my ring finger? It's because this is such delicate tissue here, okay? Sorry, back to the baking. Where you put on a high def powder near where you put your concealer. We don't have a high def powder yet, but I like animal friendly makeup companies. Younique is totally animal friendly, and so is Youngblood. And I like this Youngblood high def powder. It's just a white translucent powder, and I just put it on there, their little spongy brush, and I just leave it on there for a few minutes. The reason I call it baking is because your body heat will actually bake that in. Okay, so we'll let that set for just a few minutes. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about contour and blushing while we're here, because I feel like that is part of the base of your face, and that's important, and we definitely do not want to brush that aside. So stick with us if you're into contouring. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with a little bit of pressed powder. I use my powder puff brush for this just because it doesn't waste the powder and it gives me really even distribution. And just put it on some of those areas that I need to cover. Okay. Now, we've let that powder, high def powder, set on the eyes for a few minutes, so I'm just gonna brush it off lightly because now I need to contour. For contouring, you can do two things. You can get super serious and use a sculpting trio. This is contour cream, highlighting powder, and 3D cream. 3D cream is really cool for strobing, so if you're super into makeup and you know what strobing is, you'll know it's awesome. Your other option for a very quick contour is just to use bronzer. You just use a bronzer brush, and just put it on those lines where you want to do a quick contour, and away you go. I'm gonna do the sculpting trio so you can see how it works, because this is a full face of makeup day, okay? This is our contour brush. It has two ends. I'm gonna use this end for the 3D cream. So this is the dark. The sculpting trios come in light, medium, and dark. This is the light panel. So I just find where my cheekbone is, and I just dab on the cream to create a line. Okay, the key to good makeup is blending. And I'll go ahead and do the other side. Now it's better to add more because it's harder to take away. Okay, so here's the trick with the contour. You blend up. Okay, blend up. Okay, so there, I just lost 5 pounds, you guys. Woo-hoo! All right, it's like one of those things where I've been dieting since 9 a.m. and I haven't lost any weight yet. How is this fair? Okay, so next, the highlighting powder. I use this end of the brush for it, and you just put it up here under your eyes where you want the light to reflect. That's what's important, okay, with the highlighting. Wherever you want that light to reflect. You can do it on your nose, you can do it on your chin, you can do it above your eyebrows. This highlighting powder is amazing, you guys. So good. If you have a wide, broad, or flat nose, use the 3D cream and put it on either side of your nose. Just blend it nicely, and voila, you've got a nice thin nose. Look at that. The other thing I didn't point out yet about the sculpting trio is that it has little guides on here that show you exactly where to put the product. How amazing is that? Like, it's foolproof, you guys. Can't go wrong. Okay, so if you want to define your jawline, you can put the contour cream underneath. If you are going for a really full face of makeup, you can put the contour cream above as well. If you have a widow's peak, I'm jealous of you because I think that just looks so cool. But B, it's probably best to put your contour cream on either side of your widow's peak. Okay, we're gonna come back to the 3D cream after I do my eyes. So I'll tell you quickly where I will put the cream if you aren't going to watch the eye tutorial. But you just put it here on the top of your cheekbone, right here on your nose, and a little bit here on your lip, okay? And that's where the cream goes. All right, everybody. Last but not least, we need to finish this Neapolitan look, if you will. I'm gonna use our Pressed Mineral Blush, and this is Sweet. This is the color that I use. My daughter used this whole thing as foundation for her face yesterday. She looked very funny. So we just use a brush. When I say Neapolitan, I mean highlight, So vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, okay? So I just put that on the apple of my cheeks. There's a lot of blush on this brush because that little girl of mine got a hold of it. So I'm gonna use my powder puff brush again, and I'm just gonna blend it gently so that I don't look like a 70s flight attendant. Okay. All right, everybody, that's your face, all done. Stay tuned, we're gonna do eyes next.